What's going on, guys? Quasi here for Quasi Media Network and Quasi Animation Studio. Yes, today we're talking about storyboarding. So we already know that the name of this series is going to be Data Transfer. Now, it's not going to become an actual series because this is about helping you guys develop your own. But this is the title of this particular would-be anime series. So the storyboarding process is what we're going to deal with today. So let's look at some stuff real quick. All right, so one of the first things I want to show you guys is over here I have the animations already intended to use. Everything's already been straight. There's no, like, if I play, nothing's going to move or whatnot because this is my previz. This is my previz scene. This is not the main scene. The main scene is still in the filming. So I'm sorry, my bad, I'm in the wrong place. It's still in the assets, right? So once I get ready to do the filming, I'll go back to my default, or I'll just save as like this right here by hitting control shift S, and then I can go over and save it in filming, and I would just create a folder for this like so. And then I would save this as the actual shot. Hold on. I might have messed that up. Okay, so yeah, that's it right there. So now, because I don't want to alter that one, I'll just go back to the previous, which is the same thing, but as you can see, there are variations. All right, so now the next bit is, you may see there are a lot of cameras in this scene. So I want to make it clear, I've already done the portion I'm about to show you how to do, okay? So, or rather, what would be probably a kind of a good practice, okay? So in here, the characters already added, the enemy characters, they're just some mix-em-o characters, the assassin ninja type. And then what I'm going to do is go back into my layout. All right, I'm going to go, and I have a folder or a collection called Cinema that is just all cameras, okay? No lighting, no nothing, just all cameras. All right, so what I want you to do is think about, if you add one camera, name them. So you see I'll say cam, but this is action 1 through 6, well 7 if you think about it, because this is the first camera will be 1, then main camera. Okay, so the main camera is basically my starting camera, and then I have character cameras. So we have one for Abaya and one for Paz. So, and then they have their own iterations. So Abaya has 3 and Paz has 3. Okay, but that's only because that's how I sort of figured it out. Okay, so in this process, what I want to show you is the best way that suited me was to just go over here to the overlay and turn the bones off, right? And then actually turn on shading. Now, you could turn on the full shader or whatnot. Of course, like I said, I was going to add some stuff, so I added some edge lighting on the top up here. There's an image of Alucard that's like changing colors or whatever on this wall, and then over here some small graffiti. I didn't do a lot of extra because I really wanted to just kind of focus on getting you guys to the next step. All right, so we have the first camera is the main camera, right? So I'm not gonna, because if I go to this one, it's gonna take me up here, which I probably would use as the third shot. So what I would say is, to say you start with one camera, then I would say, as far as duplicate the camera, that's how we end up with main camera main .001. Okay, so on this first camera, let me turn all this off. So on the first camera, this was us seeing them walk forward. So this is me just figuring out how I want this to be. So I already know they're walking forward, so I probably set the mood. Here the focal length is at 65. I probably would just change the focal length. So let's say if I was animating this, they would be walking forward, and I probably would just move this, just the camera, just the focal length. That's probably how I would do that. Okay, so as I'm thinking about that I would just take 2 images of that. So the first image would be this one, and then for me, I say let's go to the second camera. I'm sorry. Let me go to, if I look, the script's not up, but I know they're walking, and then this is the establishing shot. So I'll probably go here so we can see that there's someone lurking in the shadows, right? And again, I probably wouldn't change the focal length. I probably would just slowly just let the camera kind of ease in, so it would just slide towards, it would just go this direction. Okay, so let's use the annotation tool. So it go this direction. Oh, we can't see it because this is off. All right, so it would go this direction, and then I would probably where is it, in view? Is it view? Yeah. Nope. Yep. And then so with that being said, what I would probably do is push in, and then let's see what the next camera is. So then, yeah, so now on the second, because this is the action camera, so what I was thinking is maybe let's get a little bit more of a more personal shot. So here they're walking forward still. Let's go to the next camera, and now we're seeing, I don't know if I would do this one or not, because by the time they get here, the guys will already be out. So like I said, I'd already done some shots, so I believe this would be my next shot. Then the next one would be these two. So a shot of, let's say, let me see what the third one is. Okay, I'll go to this 3. Yeah, this will probably be my next shot. So it would be from this one, or from this one to that one to the third camera. I'm sorry, the fourth camera, right, where it's pulling in. So we would get the shot of these guys, right? So by the time we get here, these guys will be standing out. So I'll show you what I have. So the next step, like I said, is figuring out those shots. So you can open up whatever photo editing software you have. You can even use Blender if you want to just, if you just, you know, put a camera on orthographic and then just leave it at 1920 by 1080. So do a 1080 screen. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll open up GIMP, because I use GIMP. And when I open it up, all right, what I'll do is I'll close Blender because I don't need it. So I already have the images I intend to use. And what I'll do is here I already have shots, right? So like I said, I already sort of had shots established on what I want to do. And my thing is when you're in Blender or whatever program you're using, move the camera around. Don't just duplicate. I didn't start duplicating duplicating cameras until I figured out the shots I wanted and where I wanted everything to be. So that's the thing, do that. Okay, so there's a total of 16 shots. These other 2 are the cards that are already done, but you know, again, you can adjust things a certain way. So I went according to my script. Okay, and my script shows that there's a certain establishing shot. Here, these 2 shots are actually reversed. Okay, because I was like, well, maybe if I start here, then there, which didn't make any sense. So this should be my first shot, then this shot, right? So later on, I thought about it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll come in here and create a new thing. We'll make the background transparent, and this is going to be our escape for it. So for each image put in here, this is me. Again, I don't know how yours will work, but this image can be scaled down to 640 by 360. Right? Okay, so it automatically gave me the scale I wanted, and it's right there, right? So that's my first image. All right, so I already know for a fact this is the first shot. So this is my establishing shot right here, right? Okay, so what I was thinking is to kind of signify shots, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna go all the way white with it. No, let's use yellow. Okay, so what I'll do is give it some sort of like, let's use that one, and I think what 80 should be good on the opacity. And what I'll do is give it like a little, just a little dot. This just me now. Again, this is not something you have to do. Reason why I'm saying giving a dot, this is just going to tell me that's my establishing shot. Okay, it's just me doing something for myself. You can do whatever you like. All right, so I know the next shot is going to be this one, right? Okay, so I'm going to come in, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to make this 640. So this is locked. So as soon as I go 640, the rest of it is going to go down to the proper size, right? Well, I already know these are behind each other, so I'm going to push this shot to the top. And then I'll move it. So let me lock this to grid. Oh man, I just messed up. Show guides, put that back on. Snap the grid. All right, so I'm going to come over, and I'm going to go right about there. All right, so I already know this is the shot, the way the shots I want them to be. Okay, all right, so this is my second shot, my establishing shot, my second shot, right? Okay, so I was thinking, well, what would be my third shot? Well, I have these two images here, right, where they're just walking, but I kind of feel like they're a little bit out of place. So what I thought about was, let's show these guys. Let's show them, establish these guys showing up, right? All right, so I'll drop this in here. And then again, we're gonna scale it down the same way. Okay, so now what I was thinking is all right, so we already know we're establishing that they're walking up. So by this time, they'll be roughly near the vending machine. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So what I'm thinking is, what I'll do here is I would like, because I want to establish that there's somebody lurking in the shadows, and then they'll jump out. So here we'll have them jump out. So I'm thinking, is it this one? Nope. Yeah, so this one is where they jump out. So let's go to that one. And then again, scale again. All right, so the reason why I'm pushing these back down below the next one is because I already know these two shots are reversed, but I still definitely want to keep track. That's me personally, again. All right, so here they jump out, they stop, and then we have dialogue where she goes, who are these guys? So what I was thinking is these two shots right here can actually happen. These two shots could actually happen. What in the world? What's happening there? All right, so what I'm thinking is these two shots could actually happen, but maybe like, okay, hold on. So here we have it where it starts to show this. So I'm thinking maybe this and then those. So if I come here and put this here, move this here.
Battlefield instrumentals.
Yeah, so all right, cool. I'll just use this one. Put it to the top so I don't have to fight with it. Scale 360. Oh, not 360, 640. 640 scale and move. All right, so here maybe, because there's no dialogue, right? We just have them walking, panning, and probably start to kind of make it go towards, like, move the camera from here to there, right? And then establish that there's someone lurking in the shadows from this shot, right? Or matter of fact, let's switch these two. Yeah, let's put this one there. So now it goes here and then moves here. Then they come out the shadows because we're going to establish that they're jumping out. All right, and then okay, I like this. All right, so then this shot happens where they're about to stop walking. Right, so we get a shot of them. Their faces probably would be different, but we get a shot of them, and then the question is, who are these guys? So this is the dialogue shot, right? Okay, so here is where we would have our dialogue. For me, I'll just add a new layer. Make it white. And then I would scale it to 640, but I'm probably gonna move it again because I'm gonna bring it down here and then I'm gonna do it again. But this time I'm gonna unlock it. It has room for dialogue or whatnot. Push it in a couple. All right, scale it. All right, so that's for that. All right, and then the dialogue will go there. Okay, so she asks, and then he's like, I don't know. But what I'm thinking is when he says, I don't know, I'm thinking they'll take up their stance, right? So here, let's lock it again. 640. All right. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Come on, thing. Ah, all right. Okay, so yeah. I was making sure that didn't paint back there. All right. So now he asks because they jump to. And then I'm thinking, like, yeah, he's like, I don't know or whatever. And then so this layer I'll duplicate. Yep. And then we get a shot, an establishing shot of them about to get their fight on. Yeah, I like that. That works. Yeah. So this is the first one. So establishing shot. We see them kind of doing the thing is panning this route because again we're establishing some level of like security, right? And then go, oh, somebody's lurking in the shadows. Get another shot of it because I want to I want to push in on it. So when they step out they start to step out on this shot, then they stop here. So now they stop walking and there's a conversation. So they're looking. Hold on, wait. Yeah, they stop here. So they stop and then they're standing there like looking. And then she asks, yeah. Then I think there's another line where she's like, we don't have time for this. Let me look at my other one. So, yeah, because what I did here was more like this. So it was like starting there, here, there, there, because we just get two sides of the shot, then coming into these areas here, which didn't really need. So I'm thinking, yeah, and then okay, then the next part is them fighting. So I'll export this. And I'll just make this card 3. All right, and then for the sake of it, start over. All right. Okay, so now for the next part, they get ready to fight. So what I'm thinking is what I did here is I'll just create a new layer because I did it the last time and it just made it simpler for me. I just didn't feel like fighting with it, trying to come up with a series of actions. So here is where this is the fight scene. I'll probably do this as 2 layers. All right. We get 2 different versions of it. Hold on, let me get this turned back on. All right, yeah. And then we establish that they've been beaten here. All right, and then yeah, okay. And then all right. Okay, so we have the fights here. They're laid out. There's a question posed. Let me look at this one. Yeah, so yeah, so they start here. So no, the fight doesn't start right there. Cause I do agree with this right here. Like this doesn't look good because she asked a question and then he says something. So turn this one off. No. Let me do this instead. I'm just gonna move this around real quick because they do have, there is an establishing shot. So on that shot, I think it should be this one. Because we look at the last, it's this one. The last thing we see is this one, right? So yeah, that one. So I guess the other one should probably, yeah, it shouldn't be this one because I just did that one. Let me get rid of that one. Bring in the other. There we go. Because like I said, I do agree with this part where they're having that conversation where she's saying this doesn't look good. And so, yeah. And it's right where it needs to be. And then yeah, then I pull back into that same position again. So this one comes back up again. This one. All right. All right. And then they fight. So I'll create 2 slots for that because again, there's something I'll do more like on the fly, and then they come and do their thing. All right, so yeah, and then it's done. They take off. Okay. They take off running because they're about to run out of time because they have to go do this data transfer. Which is what it's called, right? Data transfer or whatever. Data. All right. Now, let me see. Yeah, because on this one I put it where he says, "Why does this always happen to us?" No, he says, "Why does this always happen to us?" on this shot, and then they take off. Again, I agree with that part. So I'll use one of these layers to create the text layer for that. And then she says, "What do you mean us?" And then we get them leaping out of, because in the script is they leap out of, they're jumping, woof, to get out of there quickly. All right. Uh-oh. Boom, boom. All right. So here they jump out. And then I think that's it. Yeah. So that's it right there. So here again, I'll just use another layer. I'll duplicate that layer. All right. So boom, there we have it. So there, yeah, let's save this one. This would be card 4. All right, so I'm gonna use Photoscape to do the words. Excuse me. All right, so here we have where, like, I don't know, is that the second one? Oh, okay, yeah. Even though we're over her shoulder, he's asking the question, which is weird to me because I messed that up. This should have been over his shoulder. It should have been more that, again, this shot should have had that question, which I think I should put there still, weirdly. But let's play it out. Let's see what happens. All right. think that's what she said. Hold on. Oh, that's it. I've never had this happen before. Okay, yeah. All right. All right, so there we go. So we have establishing shot, then we go through the mix of all these things. Again, I may do that dialogue here for him where it says, "Who are these guys?" And then we get here where she says, "I don't know." No, I think he says we don't have time for this. Uh-oh, I missed a line. I missed a line. There's another line where he says, because it even says it here when we look at it. He says, I know. We can't afford to half-ass all go out. So it said, this doesn't look good. We need to hurry up. So again, I messed up there because right here is where they say those lines. So let me reestablish that. I'll just plug it in. So again, here, what is it? This one or the other one? No, this one right here. So they say that there. Let me come up here and yeah. Click, boom. All right. Hold on. And make sure I'm saying the correct words. I think, is it this one or this one? This one. We can't afford to half-ass. Go all out. All right.
Battlefield instrumentals.
Boom. Easy fix, right? All right, cool. So now we have our shots. Yeah. So there we go. So this doesn't look good. We need to hurry. The clock is ticking. I know. We can't afford to half-ass. Go all out. fight. Why does this always happen to us? Us? I've never had this happen before. That's her talking. that's Ibaya talking. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good little thing. So these two shot, like I said, establish a shot. I still love this sign being there. It says no parking. Like, who is parking there? Is it like, it's just misplaced on purpose. I love it. But yeah, I think that's good right there. So let's check our time. 30 minutes in, bruh. All right. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, now since we have that established, what I want to do is move on to the next part where we figure out basically the how we want to take this, how we're going to take the storyboard and actually animate those parts. So the walking, then like I said, establishing sort of the tempo here, right? So finding, like, doing all the animation ahead of time and then working the camera. Let me explain why I don't do the camera first. Is because if the animation's already happening, I can dictate how I present it to you. If I'm having to try to do the animation after the camera work, then now I'm in this position where, because again, this is 3D. 2D, you can do it a little way differently, but in 3D, it's like, for me anyway, it's like if the animation's done after the fact and the camera works first, now I'm in this position where I'm like having to adjust animation to fit the camera action. So the reason why I like doing the storyboarding this way, where I just have everything established already, kind of find my shots, my positions, I can go here and clearly see where they are in the image and place them right where they're supposed to go. Right here where you see this one, everyone is in a specific location. So if I want him, because he's going to come out and he's going to be further back, so that means he's going to have to run towards him, because, you know, clearly this is showing you, because see which way I'm drawing your eye, right? So here these two are going to fight, and then these two are going to fight. My thing is figuring out what to do. So I'm thinking like some good little gut punches, maybe an elbow or two or something like that, but we'll get to that part. Even along the lines of that, I'll be showing you how to really layer your animations. We will be retargeting it'll be some retargeting and stuff too, but the baking is really what I want to establish, is understanding that bake your animations this way you're not having to fight with multiple strips when you already finish it. So now you have, if you want to go back to the stripped down version, it's separate. It's already a fake user in Blender and you can just use it how you want. So with that being said, man, I don't want to go any further, keep beating this horse, because he's a good horse to ride. So with that being said, the next one will be literally me just showing you how I'll start these at least these 3 shots, right? So we'll work on these 3 shots right here, and then we'll start to work further and further in, because again, there's no action happening just yet until we get to the second board, where the second card is where now we start to talk and then there's a fight, right? So this script is about a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. So you're gonna get about a minute and a little change out of just this. Okay, so these 3 shots by themselves may total up to about, I'd say about 20 seconds. Yeah, because I'm doing 30 frames a second. You could do 24. Do not do 60. This is not a video game. But yeah, so most people say, well, you know, if you're doing like game cinematics and you storyboarding those out, do not do those at 30 frames a second. Do them at 24. And I'm explaining why real quick. Because you're going to find yourself having to readjust a lot of things just because of those 6 frames. So if you're just doing something like this right here, your level of adjustment is not as bad, because you can retime a lot of things to 30, because at going up on the 6 is easier than trying to pull it back. But anyway, with that being said, man, I'm gonna see you guys. Nothing but love.